Big announcement. Shanny for Christ and Revelation News are back together. But I cuddled a man to get warm.
How's it going today, everybody? Last time we spoke about Shanny or Rev, everything in their life was falling apart. All of their own doing, but it was absolutely crumbling. And when we left off with Rev, he had mentioned that, this house is getting condemned and I'm probably going to be homeless. Well, Rev was 100% right about that. The predictions are here. The homeless arc is in, everybody, because Rev finally popped back up like a week and a half ago and explaining his situation to everybody. That he is now the residential wizard of Pennsylvania. Wherever he's walking around, people point at him are like, hey, there's the wizard guy. And Rev, he likes to run with that story instead of his true life one, where he was just like hated by the internet, basically got ran off, ruined his relationship with his uncle who decided to give him a chance, and now he's out on the streets. And while out on the streets, he receives a phone call from Shanny for Christ saying that, hey, you have got to come back to me right now, like I'm losing my mind in this place. I can't take it much more. We got a codependency, Max, and we got to get this over with. Like, come back to me, Rev. And of course, Rev was completely down for that. But in the meantime, before this call even happened, I just want to give this as like a preface to this entire video. Pay attention to what Rev is saying before this phone call with Shanny. He explains things, but when Shanny for Christ comes back into the picture, she starts making Rev lie, and it's basically the old relationship all over again. Rev, he'll tell the truth. Rev, he doesn't have much capacity to lie because he's too busy melting down. Shanny is a prime liar. She lies about everything. So once she comes back onto the scene, Rev, like the stories that he was telling beforehand, they don't match up, and it's actually quite a sight to see. Seeing Rev slowly come back under the mind virus, Shanny is basically Eve from Resident Evil 7 if all the mold combined it into one. There wasn't multiple ones stranded throughout the building. And this is what Rev has to go through. This is the life that he chose. He was away from it. He had gotten away from Shanny, and now he's right back in it. So let me not hold you guys too long in the intro. There's so much to talk about today. Let's just get right into it.
What's up, guys? It's the Reverend Wizard. Why did I call myself that? Because, well, this cloak around this area now has made me be called the Wizard. So I embrace that. Me? How am I? I'm blessed every day. This is my home. Yeah, I got no permanent roof over my head. But God finds a way every day to show me that he still loves me. So that's pretty cool. And I got coffee. And I got cigarettes. Because of one angel out there. And because of that angel, I supply homeless people around here with a lot of cigarettes too. Since I told you the eviction thing and the not eviction, the condemning of the house, I've been on the street. And I've learned a lot about life. Holy shit. I was a spoiled brat kid. No, I wasn't a brat. But I was spoiled as f***. And I'll tell you, what people go through on the street is f***ing insane. Especially in Scranton, PA. With that being said, the main reason I'm making this video, it's going out to Shanny. Yes, it's going out to Shanny. And I made a post, right? I told you guys I contacted her healthcare coordinator. Well, she got back to me today in a text message. And she said, Jason, I'm going to be honest with you. I can't tell you anything. I really, really wanted to know how she's doing. Because I'm going to be honest, I've had time to think about what happened between me and her. At the end, okay? All that crazy shit with the live streams
So Rev comes back, and the first thing that I noticed, and that many people noticed as well, is that Rev looks better after he's been out on the streets for 2 months than living in a house with Shanny for Christ. He looks a little more filled in, and this is Rev, who probably drinks every single day of his life. I mean, that's how bad it was getting with Shanny. Shanny was just completely taking every bit of food away from this guy, and he was so used to living like that, it just slowly became normal. And now, could you imagine, you've been on the streets for 2 months. There's only one person in your life besides yourself who you could actually blame, and there would be merit to it why you're out on these streets, and that would be Shanny. Why are you going to call her back? Rev would not be here if they didn't get into like a blowout argument that had the cops getting called multiple times. And if Rev wouldn't have let those people on the internet rile him up and make things worse, this would never have happened. He would not be on the streets right now. He would be living in the house, and Shanny would be gone. If he would have simply went to his uncle and said, look man, I have made the biggest mistake of my life the last 6 or so years, been with Shanny. Absolutely ruined my life. Will you please evict this woman so I can move on with some normalcy, because she is trying to destroy everything. And the uncle would have probably relented. He would have probably been like, you know what, I will do that for you, Rev. Thank goodness you're still making steps to improve your life. Because remember, his uncle only let them live there, from what I recall at least, was so Rev could stop drinking and they wouldn't be out on the streets after the Colorado arc. Like, that was the rules, and Rev obviously started drinking again, and all of that nonsense. So if Rev would have been, like, I think if he would have stepped up, Shanny would have been gone, there would still be a house there, and you wouldn't be living on the streets for 2 months. But still, yeah, you come back and you're like, alright, I gotta get with Shanny. Now, there's a funny reason, potentially, why he chose to get back with Shanny, and he's gonna bring that up in just a moment. So I'm gonna let Rev get there before I even come close to bringing it up. But what I will say, I had to cut this out basically because you guys wouldn't have been able to understand it. But what Rev is going on to talk about is that while they were in the middle of their fight, Shanny was calling Rev everything under the sun. Anything she could just throw at the wall and hope it stuck, she was saying about Rev. Now, Rev is an awful person, but most of the things she was saying about him, there's really no proof, and I'm not going to just run with Shanny lies. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, Rev is awful, but a lot of the things that Shanny was saying about him wasn't the truth. So for some reason, Rev is going to come back and just start defending her for that. Like, of course she would say those terrible, reprehensible things about me. Call me a puerto with no proof whatsoever. I mean, I deserved it. It's like, no, Rev. If someone is talking about you like that in a public forum on the internet to ruin your reputation, you don't get back with those people. If you're a person who has done nothing, and in your relationship, your partner calls the cops on you to get revenge or something of that nature because they're mad at you, you don't go back to them. They're crazy. You especially don't go back to the person who's trying to slander your reputation even more than you've already done it yourself because they're upset with you. That's insane.
Of course she did that. Like, why would I think otherwise? Why would I think that she would do anything else? No, of course I would. And I knew she was going to do that when I did what I did. What did I do? I'll tell you what I did. I was really done with the relationship. Done. And I knew that the only way that she would be okay with us being apart was if I went real negative on her. It was a huge mistake. And I regret it. And I hope Shanny sees this someday. Because why? What am I saying to you, Shanny? I'm saying to you that I only wanted the absolute best for you, ever. And since having time alone, a lot of time alone, and being lonely as because that's the way it is when you're homeless. There's a lot of people around you when you're homeless because you got to come together as a community. You saw in my post I said I spent a night with a guy in a tent. Yeah, we cuddled. So the guy, actually, he was a year below me in high school. And, or maybe a couple years below me in high school, I'm not sure. And, yeah, we cuddled. Why? We had to. It was like 19 degrees out at the end of the, going into the morning. We were in a kiddie tent, and the thing was collapsing on top of our heads because it was like not that cold at the nighttime. And it was raining all night. I did the neck thing. Laugh at that, mother. I know this place way better than when I had a house here. Go figure. But I cuddled a man to get warm. And I'm going to tell you, it was the weirdest thing I've ever experienced. Bizarre. Cuddling a man. Did I ever dream that I would cuddle a man for any reason? No. But I did.
What a high school reunion that is. Class of 87 over here. Oh, well, you're looking at the class of 85 right here, buddy. So we're going to bunk up in this tent tonight? And you know, Rev had to be regretting every single life choice as he's sitting there doing the neck thing with that guy. Now, I've heard a few references to potentially what the neck thing could be, but I'm not going to sit here and claim that I know, but I am going to sit here and allow you guys to ponder in the comment section what the neck thing could possibly be. And now that Rev is back with Shanny, I'm so glad he put this out for everybody to know, because when the next argument comes up, you know Shanny is going to be bringing this up. Hey, go get your high school roommate. Maybe you guys can cuddle together. And now I will say this. I think I might have cut it out. It might still be in this video. I can't quite remember. But what I do remember is Rev said that for like 100% certain, guys, you need to trust him on this. He is not, and I mean not, becoming a participant of the sidewalks, if you guys catch my drift. He is not doing that. He is not desperate enough. He has not even considered it. Now, he has spent a lot of nights alone with strange men in tents, but that is for survival reasons and survival reasons only. You gotta think, there's a reason Rev is calling Shanny back up. This dude hasn't been cold a winter in years. Years. He's like, oh, I completely forgot what the cold feels like. He's like, I need Shanny back. I need this wall sitting right in front of me to block the chill out. And Rev, he's basically skin and bones. That cold gets to him really fast. But think about it. If he's got Shanny there to block it, well, then he might survive another winter. But the winter is coming to an end, so I don't really know if that's the thought process. He survived just fine for 2 months in it, but now's the time to call her up. So I don't really know if that's a reason. Just a mildly funny observation.
William caused all of this. William caused our breakup. And I know I'm going to get so much hate for this. How dare you attack her kid? Yeah, well, guess what? Her kid's an ass. He was seeking attention because he felt like he was ignored, which is ridiculous because Shanny would drop anything to talk to that boy. He went silent on her when he knows that kid is smart. He knows how much that would have f***ed her up, and it did. Bad. And it did cause our breakup. It led to it. Because we could have been in Uncle Tom's house a lot longer. There was no reason to condemn the house. None. The pipes were good. It wasn't that messy. It was at the end because of all the crazy shit that went on. But it wasn't messy. There was no reason to condemn the house. They condemned the house because it became such a problem with the police. And why was that? Because of the shit that I was pulling upstairs that triggered her so bad that she was starting to get physically violent again. So I am taking responsibility right now. And I'm saying directly to Shanny, I'm really sorry. And I've wept, Shan. I've wept. I have cried a lot for you. Not because I miss our relationship. I don't. I don't miss that. I do miss the good times we had. I think about them with sorrow now. Because I do miss those good times with you. You'd become so miserable that I couldn't see myself going forward in life with you anymore. That's what happened. Do I still have love in my heart for you? I will always have love in my heart for you. Because your heart is good. You're sweet. And I wish you the absolute best in life, Shannon.
That's so pathetic of Rev, being out on the streets for 2 months, and the only person he could sit there and blame is William. No, William isn't to blame for the reason that you two broke up. William was like going in people's comments. He was like, this is craziness. Like, I literally just left a comment telling them I'm done with them and I was going to move on with my life. Rev could have deleted that comment, moved on, and literally like the trolls would bring it up every now and then, but you didn't really have to mention it. But what did Shanny decide to do? She did multiple day live streams. Like, legitimately, guys, she would live stream up to 20 hours for weeks, it seemed like. It was probably like a solid month of 20+ hour live streams almost every single day of Shanny for Christ melting down on her own son, ruining her relationship with Rev. Like, Rev had a job taking care of Shanny, but because of this mess that Shanny put him into, it got Rev fired, and then they have no more income because in the process she lost her YouTube channel income as well. So now, because she was freaking out on William, they lost everything, which led to Rev slowly losing his mind. He would wait till Shanny for Christ was playing some kind of video game or fell asleep, and he would run into the kitchen and start playing dress up and falling in love with the AI version of himself. It was legit insanity. All because Shanny couldn't stop from live streaming hours and hours a day. She literally didn't have to say anything, but chose to make it as bad as possible. And then that led to them getting into a huge argument. They claimed that it was because they couldn't afford Thanksgiving dinner or something of that nature. But really, that was just probably the start of the huge argument. It all led from Shanny melting down on William for no reason whatsoever. So the fact you're getting back with this woman and you're saying like, oh, you know, I hated that part of you, Shanny, the one who was just miserable all the time. Well, that's just Shanny for Christ in a nutshell. She is a miserable person. And you don't think this is going to happen all over again? Shanny for Christ has less things that she normally needs to be somewhat stable. She doesn't have a computer. She doesn't have video games. She doesn't have constant access to live streaming so that she can get out her rage on you or for whatever or to beg, really. It's mainly to beg for stuff. So when all of that's off the table for the most part, what do you think's going to happen? She's going to be yelling at you more. She's going to be stealing more food from you. This is just going to be basically a worse experience for you than the house. We're starting the cycle over again, but you are in a far worse predicament. How can it get even worse? I mean, it can. It certainly can. But can Rev truly handle it? Probably not. Probably not. I guarantee you guys, in about 3 or so weeks, we're going to have another huge argument. A big one.
Rev here, looking like Joe Pesci in Home Alone because I traded jackets. I'm still the wizard, though. I made a trade for this jacket, which is fucking... I got a call from somebody yesterday. Who? Take a guess. Her name starts with an S. I got a call from Shanny yesterday. And I just got off the phone with Shanny. Why does shit always start happening on this goddamn alleyway when I start making a video? I was following the lust of my heart when I started to focus on and wanting to be with Ezzy. And as I'm speaking in this video right now, I have not told her about this. Have I been in contact with Ezzy this whole time? Yeah. I told you guys that she was out of the picture. I lied to you. Deliberately lied to you. But the fact of the matter is that, yeah, me and Ezzy were in a relationship. And you guys were right. She catfished me with those pictures. That wasn't her. And that was the main thing that attracted me to her, was her looks. That's the truth. We talked once on the phone, and I felt like we had a very good spiritual connection. But the fact of the matter is that her life, she's got her own life. And let's just say she can't find much time to talk to her boyfriend. I'm making a decision. I made the decision, well, not too long ago, I made the decision. And I was walking from Sheets back to the place that I spend the day. And I looked up in the sky and I said, Lord, is Shanny the woman that I was meant to be with in my life? And he said to me very clearly, duh. How many signs do I have to show you to make you understand that that is your girl? Shanny was in a mental facility, is in a mental facility. Her healthcare coordinator is useless. Let's just say that. She got her put in there just so she had a roof, and she's going nuts in there. So she called me yesterday saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get out of the situation. She's been in that place 2 months straight. There was no way I was going to hang up on her and block the number. So this day shelter here in Scranton that I have been spending my days, Shanny's going to be coming here. Me and her are meant for each other. We just are. We jive so perfectly together. It was so good to hear her voice. Because Ezzy is absent. I was putting everything into the communication, sending her gifs of, I love you, honey, all this in the morning, and there's barely any communication with her. Like, yeah, she'd say, oh, I love you, but it's empty. She barely ever talked to me on the phone. I was putting everything into it, and she was giving me 2%.
So I want you guys listening right now to remember what Rev had just said, that he's getting back with Shanny. He was walking home from Sheets, and for some reason he was looking up at the sky, and the Lord looked down upon him, awestruck. The Lord says to him, You must suffer even more. I am handing you divine punishment, Rev. You are such a terrible person. You must get back with Shanny for Christ. And this is what I bless you with, a life full of misery. And all Rev could do is say, yes, this must be a blessing in disguise. It has worked out every single time before, right? Right? I better chug a Four Loko so this becomes right all of a sudden. Like Rev, this is a divine punishment, if anything. And do you really think that Shanny for Christ is gonna be okay with you still being slightly in love with Ezzy? She is upset about this. This is the same girl who suspected you of cheating and found nasty text messages and made you shave your head and draw an A on it. Alright, so are you really going to come at Shanny and tell her you're still kind of in love with Ezzy? It's not going to go your way, buddy. You're going to be sleeping outside of the tent. Snow, rain, doesn't matter. You better hope spring comes early. Or Groundhog's Day takes a different meaning. It becomes the movie all of a sudden and you travel back in time, because that's the only way you're going to be able to rectify these mistakes you're making right now. You may be desperate. You may be cold, but it's about to warm up here soon. It should, at least. And you are making a drastic mistake. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Shanny's gonna ruin your life even more, and you're begging for it. You're asking for it. Now, I'm not saying being with Ezzy's a great idea either, because just like you said, everybody was like, that's a troll. And like, if you're gonna leave Shanny, don't focus on this. Focus on getting a job and improving your life, meeting people in real life. Not this person. But no, Ezzy catfishes you, and you hit her with like, okay, so you may be fake. You're not the person I fell in love with, but I'ma still make this work. I know Shanny's a bad liar, but why would you get with somebody whose first interaction with you was a huge lie? Lying about how you look, the thing that you'll see every single day, every time you look at them to speak to them or whatever, lying about that is very bad. It's serious. You should never talk to that person again.
I see people, well, I don't see it. I didn't see it. But a new fan of mine, guy named Rich down here, one of the coolest I've ever met in my life. He's a real life vampire. Don't ask me. Like, I'm not gonna violate people's confidence and the shit they tell me. You know, if he tells me I could tell some of his story and shit, then I'll tell you. But he's actually from the village. You know, Resident Evil Village, Lady Demiscu and that shit, you know. I was with Ezzy, and she wanted me to get rid of everything, you know. She wanted me to get rid of Facebook, get rid of the YouTube, all of it, you know. That's why I put it private. My channel. I what do you call it? Hid the channel. That's why I did it. No, we're not trying to be Satanists here. You got that? Because it's an inverted pentacle, and he puts a heart in it. Whoa. It's his own symbol. It's not an inverted pentacle. It's a heartogram. And what does it stand for? Look it up. It stands for love. But this non-denominational pretty preacher girl that was giving me underwear said to me, oh, it's not about love, it's about self-love. So I said, thanks for the underwear, and left. And I was ranting. This is what's wrong with Christians. I was just ranting like this. And I was a little buzzed on alcohol. I admit that. Pray for me. I'm doing my best to stop drinking completely. Because I don't want to drink no more. I got friends out here, and when I get too cranked, I start acting like a ass. And this is in my family, you know. Because it's a fact, guys, I'm never going to procreate. And that sucks. Because my particular line of Egroffs, there's like one other one, I think. A cousin or a distant cousin or a cousin removed or something out in Wilkes-Barre. That's what I heard. I don't know. But I appreciate everybody's financial help. So I hear from, I was going to tell you, Rich was, was it Rich? No, it was Ty. Ty was looking at my comments. I'm like, dude, just don't read it. But I started off with the Ezzy stuff. And I just want to say to her, I send her nothing but love. And I'm really sorry I even responded to your email. You know, because you did catfish me. You guys were right. I was looking at this chick's, because, man, her image got stuck in my head. Why? Because that's who I thought she was really, that person. And I was listening to hymn songs that were really, I was looking her in the eyes, the picture in the eyes. Oh, man. I want to apologize to Ezzy. Because I was following the lust of my heart. And I was talking to Shanny, and I said it to her. And she said, I know you were. And she was right, again. She was telling me that's not who you're talking to. Because I was telling Ezzy, like, I don't care that you did that. I like you. And that's why we started a relationship. And she gave me her real picture, which is gone now, deleted. I will never show you what she looks like, and that's it. You're never going to get any information out of me about anything having to do with Ezzy, because I love her. I do. And Shannon's going to have to understand that. There's part of my heart that's there. Because we were planning a life. You're going to have a child together, everything, you know? Have a child with Shannon, I just can't. And that's why I was so devastated yesterday. It hit me like, oh my God, the bloodline's dying with you.
Rev better watch himself getting drunk and arguing with homeless people. Like, he's only been homeless for 2 months. There's some dudes out there who have made a career of being homeless. They've been doing it for probably a decade. They've got to be rough and have been through things. You barely made it through the winter. I bet they strive in the winter, Rev. You better watch who you're talking to, or it might not be so pretty. Maybe that's why he brought Shanny back into the fold. Not only to keep warm, but you also must have a bodyguard at all times. And you guys know, Rev was running from Shanny back during the argument. Like she'll protect Rev with all of her heart. Unless she's mad at him, then she'll help the guy out. You know, Rev, it might be like a 50-50 situation every time he gets into an altercation from here on out. But in all seriousness, how are you going to be yelling at the nice lady who's giving you underwear, Rev? She wasn't trying to like criticize you or anything like that. She was just stating her opinion on what she believes it is, and you start cursing her under your, well, Rev is making it seem like it was under his breath, but we probably know it was out loud. She can smell the booze on you, Rev, and do you really think she's offended by what you say? She's literally there out of the goodness of her heart giving you underwear, and you had the audacity to speak to her like that? That's terrible. You should really reconsider your life if you're yelling at the people providing you underwear. I know you like to get on stream and criticize your donators because you've been doing it for so long, but you are in a far worse situation, and this is in real life. You can't just say whatever you want without consequences. You're lucky that lady didn't ban you from that place permanently, and she felt a little bit sorry for you. If she actually knew who you really was, she probably wouldn't feel that sorry. And I know the next segment about to come up, ain't nobody about to feel sorry for Rev, because this is just pure ridiculousness. Like, you throw it on the show. Where's Rob Dyrdek? Where is he? Because this is some crazy stuff that you're throwing yourself back into, Rev. Because I was on live stream about, I don't know, like 5 days ago when this came out. Someone was like, Chinchilla, you must watch this right now. I was like, okay, I'll watch this. We're watching Shanny content anyhow. And I click over on it. And as I'm watching, I finished the segment and everything, and I realized there was no better way to react to this better than live. Because what Shanny made Rev do was so hilarious and ridiculous. Like, you can't just commentate over it. It's so much better I had a live reaction. Because Rev has told us just now, they're getting back together. We know this as viewers. Rev has said this already. But he wants to make it seem like he was just walking the sheets one day, and all of a sudden he runs into Shanny for Christ. Like, this is pre-planned 100%, the worst acting you'll ever see. And it's you'll hear me catch on like almost immediately. I didn't know what I was walking into, but I figured out really fast. Why is Rev cry? I swear Rev is crying in the second video. Usurped. Sorry, Rev, shut up. Rev and Shanny are back together, everybody. Throw the tomatoes. Rev and Shanny are back together again. The cycle has been completed. We're back on lolcow step 1 in the Shanny for Christ and Rev scene. Alright, back to square one. Now, let's see how fast this cycle goes around. Will it take a few years? Will it take a week or a few days? I don't know, but Shanny, hey, this is the first time we've seen Shanny in 2 months, too. Let's go ahead, guys. Let's jump right into this.
What's up, guys? It's been a while. Why? I was 302'd. And it wasn't Jason who 302'd me, actually. It was actually my service coordinator, so she's fucking fired.
Yeah, my service coordinator 302'd me, probably for the best of my health. It looked like you were in a pretty bad scenario. I'll fire her now. Get her out of here.
2 fucking months in a high security mental hospital.
Shanny, I know you probably think you don't deserve it, but everyone in chat right now probably agrees with me. From the outside looking in, it seems as if though you probably did need it. You were calling the cops 24/7, claiming that Rev was doing things that he wasn't. Rev was doing certain stuff, but there were plenty of things that you were doing that, you were claiming that he was doing that just never happened. You smashed a mug next to Rev's head, and the cops come in and was like, why did you smash that mug next to Rev? We're watching this on live. And then you put on this one voice like, oh no, officer. No, never happened. And he's like, yes, it did. No. Yes, it did. And it's like, forget this. All right, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later, because I know I'm gonna get a call in like 2 hours from now.
And in Scranton at 6 p.m. So I basically spent the whole night outside in the cold. Like, it was freezing. I'm surprised I'm alive, but thank God for this, like, sheets, because I have a little extra money on my food stamps. So
Rev has been homeless for 2 months. Shanny's on night 1 of being homeless, and she's already complaining so much. Like, all right, if you were to ask me, now I'm just taking a guess here, who's going to suffer more out in the middle of the cold? Rev, who is basically skin and bones, or Shanny, who is quite the opposite? I'm gonna say Shanny is taking this like a champ, okay? It might be uncomfortable, but Rev is over there literally shivering to the bone as he's hugged up to some other guy he used to know in high school. You're probably not doing that bad. And shout out to the dudes outside working in a Sheetz who was like, who is this strange lady who just popped up? It's like a lost puppy. You're like, do I get rid of it now or later? They're just waiting for she does something to call the shelter. They're caught in between. Wait until she gets kicked out of there. Oh, she's gonna be so mad. Because you guys know how needy Shanny is. She's going to start feeling comfortable and walk into the snack section and plop down like a Snorlax. And she's going to basically pull, like, she's going to start treating it like how she treats Rev. But to everybody. Nobody's taking her snacks. You're going to have to play some kind of song. I don't know if we have the technology, the invention, or the studies to figure out the Pokeflu song, so we might just be in everlasting danger somewhere in Pennsylvania. At a certain point, she just might grow to a mass that she just slowly takes over the Sheetz, just becomes one with it.
Only a few people I met in there that I made friends with.
Resident Evil 3 Gamma Alpha would have been a better reference,
because I love them very much. Did I have any sleep? No. I didn't. I'm just waiting out here, and I love the sun. I don't know how it became like 20 something degrees last night, and like right now it's got to be almost 80 degrees. So how that works, I don't know. As soon as I got out, the taxi driver, he pulled into this convenience, and I got myself a Dr. Pepper and some cigarettes, and that was nice, because I haven't had Dr. Pepper in 2 months. I still haven't had any pizza yet. I want a stuffed crust supreme pizza.
already with the dry begging as soon as she gets back on the live stream. And well, I'm not gonna lie, I'll give Shanny a little bit of credit here. Not much, but a little bit. You know that's exactly what's on her mind. She's not been to dry begging. Like, that's probably on her mind as well, but you know, the only thoughts running through her head is pizza. She's envisioning it right now. Just a slice. Just the warm melting cheese, the sauce, the bread on it. Oh man, she can see it right now.
I met someone there. It was a trans woman, and we kind of had a little fling, I guess.
What?
They were born in the same town I was born in. Then the unit found out, and we got separated to different units.
Shanny, stop kissing your roommate.
I don't know where.
Shanny hits him with the tofichu. We're just friends. Friends are allowed to cuddle and kiss at nighttime. What are you, a weirdo? Just my best friend.
Where does it go in there?
What the fuck?
What the hell? What are you doing here?
Fuck, what are you talking about? What am I doing here? I've been here like 2 weeks. What are you doing here?
Oh my god. No, they didn't. No, they didn't plan this out. So the plan was Shanny go in there and dry beg. We've been hanging. Rev literally told us that they're coming to hang out with one another. But on Shanny's live stream, they concoct. I'm so glad we watched Rev's video first. So they concocted this idea for a live stream of Rev go sit in the back, and I guess about 3 or 4 minutes in, just be like, "Oh my God, Shanny! Oh, what's the coincidence of meeting you here? I could have swore I saw you 2 miles away." And she looks around. Huh? Is that Reverend News? Revelation News? No way! Oh my god, it's my ex-boyfriend just happened to be here. Wow, what are you doing? He's like, I've been here for 2, like, what are you two doing? We all expected this. Why are you? Shanny literally told him, so it looks less bad on us. You have to pretend you just ran into us out of nowhere. That's crazy. And then Rev has literally told us quite the opposite on his own video. You know, when Shanny figures out about that one, he's gonna have to delete it. What just happened?
I was supposed to go over to the shelter at 4:30.
Whoa, my God, 4:30.
Okay. Well, hi, I guess. But, you know.
Like, you still drinking?
Guys, how far are we into the stream? This seems like, why does this seem like terrible acting right off the rip? Who are you? Oh my God, it's Rev. Honey, there's no way we could have met up right here at the same time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
RE4
How's
Remake
your
is the
girlfriend?
best. Not like
That
RE2
shit's
Remake, a
over.
little bit better though. I ain't gonna lie to
What
you,
do you
Anya.
mean?
But it's
Well-
top 2 for me.
I'm sorry, you know, like. She can't.
I like how for the storytelling arc, it's now Rev has to sit down at the table and start telling his life story. I love how they map this all out. It's like, okay, Rev, honey, for them, my chat to believe it because they're all idiots. Every single one of them are the dumbest people in the world. They're totally going to buy you. For you to sell this, you have to sit on the table and tell me all about your life, or they'll think we're just playing. It's like, okay, honey, okay, can I please have some food? No, Rev, I'm gonna sit there and dry beg for some pizza, and you just better sit there and hope. Can I have a beer? No, Rev, you cannot have a beer. Have you been drinking again, Rev? No. What's the smell on you? Have you been selling yourself on the corner? You better get back up to it if you want some more beers. Why has 2 people said stopped watching South Park for this? Is a new episode of South Park on? Is something
Like all
South
you guys
Park
are
related
right.
happening?
No shit, she catfished you.
Yeah, but she ain't AI, but she catfished
And you broke up a relationship and you gave her cats away and...
Yeah, I know. And I'm really sorry about all of it. To be honest with you, I'm really sorry about it. And I want your forgiveness, I really do.
Fine, you're forgiven.
No, it went that fast. Where's the conflict resolution? We completely skipped steps of storytelling. We were supposed to have peaks, valleys. We were supposed to have like a very heated moment at the top, and then we're supposed to slowly ride down, and then that's when you say, yes, I do. It doesn't go, hey, you were cheating on me. Huh? I know I was. I loved that girl. Well, are you sorry? Yes, I am very sorry. Okay, I'll get back together with you then.
Real? Alright,
I
you
don't-
want me to leave you alone? Like, probably should leave you alone, right?
Well, why are you here?
What do you mean, why am I here? This is where I've been. People know it.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've been at the CIC. Like, come on, you know that, right? Tam Tam's been talking to you all that, right?
Tam
I
Tam.
heard people are talking to you, telling you shit. I've heard that.
I didn't know it was the CIC.
Oh, well, all right.
But how do you know Tam Tam's been talking to me?
In comments, there's a few people talk to me about shit. You know. But I've been really feeling horrible about everything. It was. Not that she wanted to be with me or nothing, but she lied to me about the pictures, and that's true.
Jason, I met someone.
But Shanny, you messed up. You messed up because already in the story, you said, okay, I'll get back together with you. You now can't later on in whatever this is supposed to be like, okay, but Rev, I've got some bad news for you. What is it, Shanny? I've met someone else. I've met another man. Oh, next thing we know, Rev is gonna walk like cornily into the background, really bad acting, and do like a opera heart attack. Oh, I can't believe it, and just fall onto the ground.
I met someone.
Serious?
I don't know yet. I'm waiting for them to get
What do
out.
you mean you don't know yet? How long you know them?
About a month and a half?
Oh, okay. Are you gonna get serious? What the fuck do you think?
I don't know.
You know how you know Shanny is acting? When Shanny is doing her live streams very natural state, her face doesn't move that much unless she is in complete rage. Shanny is just overreacting on the facial expressions right now. Like, you could compare what she normally does to this, and she's like rolling her eyes, flicking her eyebrows, moving her jawline, like, Rev, I really don't know. This is a little suspicious if you ask me.
Probably some desperate tranny.
Oh my gosh. So, Rev is so salty about this relationship. In all actuality, he's calling out this person. He's making fun of him because he shouldn't know that this person was apparently trans. This is information Shanny has already gave to us. But if Shanny and Rev just so happen to meet each other at Sheets, well then, how would Rev have that information? And it's not like he could say, well, I heard it on phone call, because the way Rev is wording it is like, I bet they are, you know, it's like a dig. So this just tells me that Rev is actually really mad about this, and they are already doing their subtle fighting. That's why Shanny is already saying, well, they were talking for a month and a half, and if my memory serves me right, the Rev and Ezzy stuff was around a month and a half of talking.
Haha. Why don't you get the fuck out of here?
And then the story, you know when I said like stories have to have like peaks and valleys, they literally flipped the story around. Like it literally, like just a 300, no, not 360, 180 degree dip, because now we're having a fight and he has to leave all of a sudden for some reason. But we've already established you're going to get back together with him. Where's the storytelling if we're going to be faking this?
Keep my shit.
Rev, the guy we know who has been able to pin up his emotions so much. I mean, he could take so much, and just sit there stone-faced. That Rev? Yeah, that guy? No, he doesn't exist. Rev explodes over the tiniest issues. So him literally freezing to death at night with the idea of getting back together with you because of his codependency and his need for late night warmth, do you think he'd literally just sit there and take that? No, he would be begging and pleading, not just sitting there dumbfounded in silence that Shanny, for Christ, wouldn't take you back. You're all each other has. We knew this the entire time.
I guess I'm gonna have to deal with him. No.
Everyone's calling the comment section. I finally took my time to read it. She's scratching her ear. That's a tell, like, Rev, you're screwing up. We fumbled this. She told him before the camera started rolling, she's like, if I turn around and start scratching my ear, that means we messed up bad and we gotta get off live stream and go into hiding for a few days. Alright, since I've been talking so long technically, let's go ahead and get into Shanny for Christ and Rev's first night of being homeless, and it goes about as bad as it possibly could. Shanny's sitting there coaching Rev about how to be homeless when Rev has been doing this for 2 months, but Shanny just has to be the leader in the situation.
We're under a building right now, trying to stay warm
Safe? Well, I'll tell
and
you,
safe.
it was fine and we were cozy, and then it rained.
It rained and it's cold. Not that cold, but like it's horrible.
Well, everything.
We went to actually 2 hospitals. Well, both of them technically kicked us out.
Yeah, but at least Geisinger gave us a good.
Well, we had a little bit of sleep.
Yeah.
At Geisinger. They said it was a panic attack, of course, but it was heat exhaustion. And then we went to the other one because of my legs.
Yeah, you couldn't walk.
And they gave me 6 x-rays. And you know what they diagnosed me with? Homelessness.
What?
I asked you to look at my legs, not tell me what I'm going through right now. I would love to have some pizza. Are you kidding me? This is what actual people go through every day. So many on the internet. They want to go around and say, oh, it's so great. This is going to be funny as we're going to laugh at them suffering. And I have to ask myself, what the is wrong with you people? That is so inappropriate to even say shit like that. You know, the hospitals treat us like shit because they know we're homeless. They're not as accommodating. They put us in the corner. Like, this is an actual reality of what's going on in America right now. And even though I am suffering, I am grateful for this experience because I know I have God. He's with us. Always. And He's given us everything, not the most comfortable of things, but the things that we need in order to live and survive. But yeah, like, if I could help everyone, if I was rich, I would go to the CIC and I would buy everyone a goddamn home.
Shanny, for Christ's night one of being homeless, is already up to her old tricks. When she had a house, she would just go to the doctors because she didn't want to work and say that she had some ailment that was never diagnosed. She would never show any proof. And then just like literally sometimes a month later, she would be cured of it miraculously. She'd be like, oh no, that never happened, right, Jason? And then Jason would just cower in the corner. Yeah, yes, Shanny, never happened, not once. I don't believe it at all. Even though there's literally recorded proof that she just memory holes and hopes everyone else does as well. Now you know she was trying to play the game. I used to work next to a hospital, and all the security guards that would come in there would tell me, like, basically their entire job is like getting the homeless people from loitering in there. Like, you know, that's a hustle that's been going on for a very long time, Shanny. You're not playing the system whatsoever. And I guarantee you, if you're in that situation and you're just trying to get somewhere warm for a little bit, it sucks, especially if you don't take advantage of it, because there's been tons of people in the past who have overstayed their welcome, completely took advantage of it, are yelling at the staff, being rude. So when you're getting x-rayed 5 or 6 times and they tell you there's nothing wrong with you, you're just, as she says it, diagnosed with homelessness, they're not trying to be rude to you, Shanny. What they're trying to tell you is you're wasting our resources. You're fine. I mean, there's things wrong with you, but what you're complaining about, you're fine. You're just wasting resources on somebody who could actually truly need it.
I was a hero to a woman today. Thank you very much. I bitch slapped a pimp off the property today of the CIC. I'm not kidding you. I did. Nah, man. I'm protecting this man. Because he doesn't know how it is in the streets. I do. You know, it's not my first time I've been homeless in my life. There's been several times when I was a child and we were homeless in the streets. We survived, though. Lovers, to the real ones. If you would like, we are trying to save up to get, like, a beater car, just so we can have some place to stay, some kind of shelter, as you will, so we're not, like, freezing in the middle of the night. Or if there's anyone in the Scranton area that's willing to give a bed over to us for a couple nights, or to be roommates, we'll find jobs. It's hard to find a job, though, when you're out in the streets, though, because everyone puts their nose up and act like they're so superior. So, get your laugh on. Get your laugh on. This is what you wanted. This is why you didn't let us have jobs, didn't let us have homes, right? This is what you wanted to see, right? So proud of yourself, right? So proud of yourself. You did the world so much good by putting 2 people on the streets. Nah. And that bitch Essie. You don't love Jason. You didn't try to get him out of poverty at all, man. You knew he was struggling on the streets for 2 months, girl. 2 months. And you didn't come out. You didn't try to help him. You didn't try to lift him up. You know what I did? I found out he was on the streets and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to help him. You know, you guys, you haters out there, y'all made him hate on me, treat me like shit. And then you're like, after he's out on the streets, what do? You do nothing for him. You completely ignore him. You didn't show how much you cared for him. At all. At all. I was good. I had a room. I had food. I had warmth. I had clothes. I had shelter. He didn't. And I'm really mad at people for, like, making him seem or making it seem like if he broke up with me, then his life would be better. It got worse.
It's so funny that Shanny is really sitting here pretending that Rev hasn't been doing this for 2 months. Also, she can brag to some internet trolls that, I'm taking care of Rev better than you ever could. The only other person who's offered to take care of him besides you, Shanny, is I guess his high school classmate. I mean, you don't have very much competition. I mean, I don't know how close he is to going with that guy instead of you, but if you keep, like, treating him this way, like Rev can't do anything, he might get angry again. And we all know why you're doing it, so you can feel superior and act like Rev is so beneath you and that he has to rely on you for everything. But he doesn't. This is the same way you guys got into an argument last time, and as nice, calm, and relaxed as you are right now leads me to believe you're getting close to a meltdown. You want us to believe you're tough, you can handle this, you've been through this multiple times, but you're literally like trying to stay in the doctor's office because you can't take it. You're begging people for a night out. You will not get a job, Shanny. This is the biggest lie anyone has ever told in their life. Like, you're sitting there, oh, well, me and Rev will get a job. The same Rev who has said before in the past, I will not get up early to work. I refuse. That is nonsense. So don't even expect it out of me. I couldn't imagine inviting a worse parasite into your life. But I guess this video is over an hour long, so I think that's enough for me today, everybody. So if you liked the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, follow all the socials down below, comment, use the new hype feature, and I'll catch you guys next time.